Oh, it's gonna be a good day, right? Right, guys. Right, guys. It's
Are we
gonna be
live right now?
great. It's gonna. Yeah, we're live. What do you mean? Are we
It
live?
depends on my answer depends on if we're live.
We are definitely live.
Oh
As
yes,
yeah.
it's gonna be
Get,
splendiferous.
who? What was
What?
that? What was that word?
What's that?
Splendid.
Splendiferous.
Splendiferous. Wow,
Splendiferous day.
that's a new one.
All right. All
Splendidly
right.
wonderful.
All right. All right.
I like
So,
it. I like it.
well, welcome everybody. It is the 16th episode of the Made in Dreams podcast. I am your host, Mighty Vicious, here as always with the Emperor of the Lotion Lobby, Jamie James, and also a man who's been in the lobby for so long, but we wanted to bring him out here so he could learn y'all a little something about the interwebs. This is my boy. How do I even introduce you? Do I just you just the fighting wordsmith, aka
Yeah, sure, go
part-time
for it.
ninja, aka
Whatever.
Joechuck, at Joechuck
Yeah.
on Twitter if you find him. He's all those things and more, as you're about to find out. So normally this would be the time where we tell our guest to talk about dreams or their dreams, but today we're here strictly for business. So let's get to business. What do you do, fighting wordsmith? What do you do, Joe Chuck? What do you do part-time?
Well, all right, yeah. So every fantastic rapper has like 9 AKAs, right? So
Yeah, of course.
that's kinda how it is. Yeah, I mean, I rebranded this year as Joe Chuck, so you can let that ride. I am at Fight Wordsmiths on Twitter because I started my my branding and marketing consultation as the Fighting Wordsmiths. So, and that unpacking that further is just actively managing your narrative online. So the Fighting Wordsmiths, right? Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But you know, it's on edgy. I work from home, and on the side, I talk to gamers uh, who have a nose for it, about how to market themselves and how to lock in their brand identity and find their niche community. Like it's really all about, in such an oversaturated world, like how do you stand out now in 2020? You just can't go live 24 hours no more and be like, oh, 24-hour stream. Like, okay, good luck. Hope you got some water. So that's kind of what I do. I do one-to-ones. And I just try to help and empower people so they can make decisions for themselves down the line. Like I'm not trying to keep no one on the hook for nothing. It's just like a limited engagement, like a marketing mentorship, if you will.
Mm.
Well, let me put it. There's a lot of people out here that I think could benefit from what you currently do, because Dreams has been, it's given birth to a lot of new streamers, a lot of creatives given a new, I would say, genre that they can stream in on Twitch that's better than just being in the sea of creatives. Like that was the first thing I noticed, is it was just like, if you do like art or creative and that's your genre on Twitch, you're just flooded out. There's people out that do that, but
Yeah.
Dreams gave people their own subcategory where it helps us all remain in a community and niche. So, like, what would you say would be the best way for someone who's just starting out doing Dreams? How do you think that they should go about setting themselves up for success?
Yeah, I would say that they should really focus on 3 different things. They should focus on what makes them happy as a creative, what they think they can sustain, long term, or even kind of short term in an experimentation kind of mentality. Like I will try this out for a month or two. So creatively, what 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 keeps you happy? Second, work on your actual branding. Work on what you want to be known for. Work on your narrative. And then lastly, the third thing would be manage your time. as appropriate, because that joke about the 24-hour stream is entirely true. While you shouldn't be streaming 24 hours, you should be thinking about your content and how to express it and package it across the internet. 24 hours, yeah, sure, or as much time as you can. A lot of us have main jobs and we're just getting interested with streaming, right? So treat your time as if it's a part-time job and try to stick to the schedule, because you don't always need motivation to be productive, but you do need consistency. And when you're talking about streaming creativity, then you're talking about building a community. And I've said several times before that no one wants to watch a TV show that comes on sometimes, and the characters just kind of change whenever they want. Like it's not a consistent experience. So that's why I say those three things.
That actually makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's simplistic, but it hits home quite well.
Yeah, I
So-
mean, it does put a lot of the responsibility back on the creator, but if you're a creator, then create. Just be happy creating.
That's
know?
the responsibility of the creator in the first instance anyway. I mean, you only get what you put in, so
Yeah, I mean, and it's totally fine if you set your expectations according to a part-time growth schedule, where if you only stream 3 times a week for 4 hours, that's acceptable. Just don't kill yourself and be comparative to other people. If, oh man, I should be growing, I should have more people in chat, I should be, get more likes and engagements, or whatever metric you want to qualify as making it. All that noise, shut it down. Focus on yourself and lock down those three things, because consistency from the viewer's perspective is the best way to provide a recurring and good interaction, or at least an interaction worth judging. Do I want to go back there and check them out again? That person's live again. So yeah, I would say manage yourself, manage your time, and manage your community's experience.
So we had a question from Spicy Waffles Del Rio in chat, and he said, "What about name recognition? How do you blur the line so people see you as your gamer tag and name?"
So is that specific to me? Because I've definitely been a bit of a chameleon when it came to that, and that was intentional, honestly. And I mean, from a branding perspective, it actually kind of worked to have these siloed personalities in my brain, because I could assume different roles. If you play the game with me, Mighty, you would know, then it could be part-time. And the running joke for years is, what can we do to help part-time? Which means everybody go jump on that grenade for me, because I'm going to live. I'm trying to get you guys assists. That was the big running joke, right? So, as I came out into the digital world now, and I think when I say digital world, it's like post Mass Effect 3, right?
Yeah.
So, there's been a sway of power from consumer, and the developers have opened their ears up to consumers now. So it didn't really make sense for me to keep presenting myself as, please call me part-time, please call me part-time. But it did make sense for me to say, yo, my name's Joechuck, because that is, that's my name. People call me Joechuck. And then I made Fighting Wordsmith. So juggling those three things, as I first came out, I just was Fighting Wordsmiths to separate from part-time. And then as I started to personify Fighting Wordsmiths, and people asked those questions, what do I call you? What do I call you? And I was like, oh, you can call me Jojo. But it had to move at some point from if you know, into I know the stripper's real name, right? So that's just kind of, that's like the natural.
I love that.
Yes.
Her name is not Diamond. Her name is Sierra, and she was born in 1994. So
Jesus.
I don't know. It was just kind of like a natural growth curve, but I did expect for it to go that way, because the way that it works is your icon, or your avatar, or whatever you want to call it. My profile pic was just my Destiny 2 Guardian, so it was just the purple Sentinel. But the instant I started to actively personify my brand, it became about showing my face and putting a human name to that. So it was one big act. It was a line in the sand to move away from part-time into Joechuck. So that was kind of how it happened. And now I just assume the role of Joechuck, and I absorb all of that.
So basically what you're saying is, like, you had to go on a journey through personas to find your brand name, like, or not necessarily. I guess not personas to find your brand name, but you went on a
like an expedition. I mean, I saw a growth, like, like projection, and
Mm-hmm.
I charted a course to it. I knew, because honestly, fight wordsmiths at Twitter. So on Twitter, that was my burner account. My actual personal branded account was Part Time Ninja. So that was, and I carved it up in Destiny 2, and I started to kind of about that following, and I didn't feel like managing lists, which is a very social media specific thing. So then I made Fighting Wordsmiths as some type of like phantom LLC that I knew I was going to eventually do like consultation with it, or at least I was going to try to do it. Um, and that became the main. So the burner account became the main, and then at that point, I was like, good. Now I can just leave that part time ninja shit, and now I can just be this what I am actually now today. So um,
Yeah.
managing those different names and they're just different personas and brands. Like I wouldn't necessarily like Fighting Wordsmiths. If you look at the consistencies of the followers on Twitter, it's largely marketing Twitter. So it would be kind of odd for me to just start posting all of my like dope ass game clips from like trials or me teabagging somebody. But every now and then I do kind of post that to keep my at least authority in that category of gaming related to my name. If I
Mm.
was using that account to only talk about marketing, then this dude's known for gaming. I don't see no clips. I don't, you know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
it's a bit of a juggle. But
Okay,
that's how
so
it works.
but you're saying so just because I'm trying to make sure that it's being explained to the to Spicy who asked the question. Basically, what you're saying is just consistency along with material just automatically blends you into that into your persona, your moniker. Like you become that
Yeah.
thing.
Maybe I did a terrible job of answering that. So sorry. It was just kind of a natural evolution. Yes.
Yeah.
I did chart a course, and at a certain point I did intentionally personify the name that used to be just a phantom gamer icon.
Yeah.
I personified that. I put my face. I literally changed my profile picture to my face. I changed my name, and I write in first person. I don't say we here at Fighting Wordsmith. So that is a social media branded effort to keep that personified and keep it associated with marketing and gaming.
Okay. And let's go back because while I know what you're talking about when you say the 24-hour stream,
Yeah,
I don't think a lot of people do. And but you see people suffering from the effects of it all the time. And it's the people that jump into streaming and they get disheartened by, I'm doing this for this long and nobody's coming to watch. I don't have anyone to talk to, and they expected, yeah, it might be hard, but if I just stream, I'll catch on. And so
yeah.
go into that a little bit more.
I mean, that's not a terrible mentality. I don't want to call that dated. That's not fair. I think it's kind of oh, like Field of Dreams. Like if you build it, they will come. That's kind of selfish. And right now, as I said earlier when I was talking about Mass Effect, I have to refresh my stream here too. Sometimes I keep getting error coded, and that's the only way I can see Mighty's face. Sorry. Um, the 24-hour stream can actually be detrimental to you because in the world of digital access to a brand, so we talk about your total profile of what you are online. What is your complete digital footprint? If you're only on Twitch and no one ever comes by, then you don't have enough roads to the best product ever, in your opinion. You can make the best dish in the world and it can be a family secret, and that's fine. Or alternatively, you can make the best dish and you can promote it on multiple channels and spend your time juggling those balls as well to get people to what ultimately would be your bottom of the funnel, um, one of your main points of where you foster community and interaction. So a 24-hour stream would work if you're getting some momentum and you're tactically and objectively just open for hosts and raids and networking. That's the point of a 24-hour stream, just to say it out loud. You want people to come by, you want to get hosted and rated, you want to meet new people. So that's you tactically saying, with the 24-hour stream, I expect to um, foster, I guess, kind of bait the hook for as many cold audience potential members that I can move into my warm audience, as in people that kind of know me. So if you don't have the authority or you don't have eyes on you already, it's just like putting a really super shiny sign on the side of the highway and no one fucking stops because there's no value, there's no reason for that. They just go, oh, look, a shiny sign, and they keep driving.
Hmm.
And it's no disrespect to the effort, but just, there is a time and a place for it. It's not just add water. It is a lot of give and take because viewers, as I was saying earlier, have a lot of choice and a lot of power, and you have to respect it. You're just literally in competition with people above and below you in the directory for every platform, every post, even right now, as I look at my Twitch directory, it's just a bunch of names. So I have the complete power to just click away, and you have to respect that.
Okay. So I I don't necessarily want to say I disagree with a thing you did because we're not debating today. We're going to try to not bicker like a married couple for no. Like I would say the mentality of I'm getting into streaming to be big or to be an influencer or anything like that, I feel like that's the wrong way to go about it. And I feel like
Correct.
that for me is what led me to a lot of my initial downfalls in streaming because I always put tons of time into what I do. And when I don't receive anything back from that,
Yeah.
it's disheartening. But I would if I could go back and talk to myself, when we first started, because we started together.
Yeah.
That was on
Like,
the couch. We were
yeah,
literally playing a game, and I was like, "We should stream. Like, we're funny as shit. We love each other. Let's just." Which was selfish.
yeah,
That was presumptive. We were like, "Yo, people will love us." That's essentially what we were saying.
yeah.
I don't mind saying that loud.
No, it's not. All I'm saying,
We were wrong. I'm saying that
no,
was the fucking
yeah,
premise.
yeah,
That was the premise.
but I feel like everybody who starts out streaming, and I definitely want to say this to people who have just started streaming for Dreams. Now, Dreams is a wonderful community, done nothing but wonders for me personally. Just getting to meet more creative people, and actually have conversation with them and learn from them, but
Right.
like I'm seeing a lot of people start to make those posts. You know those posts when you're frustrated and you're
Mhm.
like, why am I doing that? It's like those are the people I'm trying to talk to right now. It's the people
Yeah.
that
Right.
you like slow down.
That's exactly why I started too, because I started to see that, and then I saw everybody's, like clinical depression come out, and then cries for help, and at that point, it's like, well, actually, you should probably get some professional help and actually start taking care of yourself because, this is toxic to you.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I try to protect my statements and say, set your expectations accordingly, and stop comparing yourself to other people. So yeah, I agree. Those are lessons that I've learned since we started. And even now, my channel in review is just like an appendage of what I actually am for online. My
Yeah.
my Twitch channel alone is really not that fucking great. And I kind of just go at it whenever I want to. I don't even provide consistency to that, but I do provide consistency to another platform which I grow off of. So the way you spend your time, it all works for your, I guess, ultimate bottom of funnel. If Twitch is your choice of platform, because let's be real, it could be Facebook gaming, it could be YouTube gaming, it could be Trovo, it could be whatever you want. It could be Instagram Live. Wherever you stream, if you're trying to attract people and move them across the platform that they're currently on into another platform, um, those types of efforts are damn near Herculean. So if you spend a lot of time in Twitch, then spend time in communities, spend time building with other people, which is exactly what you're saying that you did, and you get a greater return on it and a higher level of satisfaction just for the time that you spend there. You say, this is worth my time, as opposed to expecting people to come by and praise you and stuff. So the more selfless you are in an authentic way, then the better you're spending your time. And that happiness is, or at least I guess happiness is not the right word, but that level of satisfaction is almost palpable. Like it's like visible. So that creates FOMO, and it attracts people. So um, when you build and you can fix the plane as it's flying, it doesn't have to be perfect. Progress is not perfection, and progress is not linear. So just really just set your expectations for whatever's right for you, but you have to understand and decide what's right for you.
Yeah.
That'd be the biggest thing I say to myself.
So I mean I feel like I'm cutting Jamie off when I'm asking these questions, but do you have anything you would like to go specifically into as far as
Am I not? Yeah. Let me know if I'm not answering this shit. Just shut it down. Like, yo,
just shut it down?
just shut it down. Eat a Kit Kat, bitch.
I mean, seeing as we're talking about Twitch, I mean, one question I wanted to ask you is Dreams is quite a niche category for streaming. So particularly the only people that are going to be watching Dreams streams is people that play Dreams. So it's quite niche. So
Right. Yeah.
I find it's quite easy. I say easy very lightly to get an audience on Twitch when you're concentrating on something quite specific, especially with Dreams. It's a very tightly knitted community, and if
Yeah.
you're involved on all the Facebook pages and Twitter, and you know you're active within this small community that we are, it's quite easy to get viewers over to you. And we were quite lucky in that regard with this podcast. You know, from day one, we've always had a viewership, which has been fantastic. But you know, you've got streamers like Elka, for instance, and if you're not aware, Elka is someone on Dreams who is currently creating an Avatar, The Last Airbender remake within Dreams, and it got picked up by GameSpot and IGN. It got a load of news flare all over it. So now he's pretty much one of the biggest Dream streamers on Twitch. So my question to you would be to the people that are thinking of starting to stream on Dreams, but I feel very overshadowed by the popularity of these bigger streamers, and you know they're thinking, "Oh, I'm never going to get the type of viewership that Elka has."
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
would be your response to that?
Mind your business. I mean,
Yeah.
in the most loving way ever.
Yeah.
I mean, look, that's just the hard truth is focus on yourself. This is what I mean, because this has happened across any category. So I appreciate you setting the table for how specific Dreams is and how much of a niche community it can be. But in the grand scheme of things, it, like many other things, like say Fuser, the new DJ game, say that that takes off. Destiny even now is super niche. One of the people that I work with mains Avengers still, and we all know there's like 80 people in the directory. He set his goals to get all 80 people, and he's got them. He's now the number one, I guess, according to his stats, streamer for that game there. But that's, you know, not dismissive, but that, you know, overlooks some other people that are big on YouTube. The fact that it's kind of a meh kind of game, right, Mighty? So, you know, I would say to that, mind your business, focus on yourself, get your craft right, find your group. You cannot come into this expecting to hit the lottery, not in 2020. It's a different landscape now. And just because GameStop and so picked it up, you should ideally be happy for him, because ultimately that's raising visibility for the platform. It being a viable place to find creativity on that platform. So it's all cyclical, it's all helpful, but work on yourself, work on your differentiating factors, work on how to retain viewers, work on how to engage with your community. Really just focus on yourself, because again, in such a world of oversaturation of flooded categories, the only way to stand out is if you have your set group of people.
Yeah, I mean, and even if we continue to grow, it's such a. I've only been a part of one other game that had this type of community, and it was a card game called Eternal. And I see a lot of this happening, of what happened with Eternal happening within Dreams. I mean, somebody made a clip because Elka, he rated us, and our viewership shot up through the roof so much that when I looked over, it blew my mind real quick. I was like, whoa, what the hell just happened?
Right.
And, you know, and with the community, like, no, you're not, like, don't come in asking to play, playing the lottery. But because we are a community that gives back to each other, you're going to have some help. Don't expect the help, but you're probably going to have help. Whether it's, I mean, we just all work together. I mean, hell, I think I know over 100 people in Dreams now, and in some way, shape, or form, I've been on a project with all of them. Like,
Yeah,
that's,
good. I mean,
that's how
I
it
feel like you
grows.
were like
So
a butterfly I had to let go, and now I'm coming back, and you flew back to me, and I'm like, oh, I love you too. So I'm
so
fucking elated to see that you found your group. That, as all of the um, corporate snobs would say, that's culturally insensitive. You found your tribe. Um, but that's really what it's about. It's about finding your people. Ledbetter says it. Find your ride or dies, and take care of them. Right. So, be selfless for your group, and compassion and empathy are some of the best things that people are trying to replicate. So be authentically empathetic to your group, and you will have your ride or dies. That's more important than growing comparatively to somebody, like you're saying. It's kind of like if somebody gets big and then they raid you. What's your actual, like, from a data perspective? What's your retention rate of all of those new people that took part in that raid of your channel?
you'd be
Can
lucky
you
to
go
get
back?
5%.
So that's what I'm saying, is while you appreciate it, and this is where the 24-hour stream comment comes in, is that you can incentivize that. Yo, if you raid me, I'll gift a sub to your channel. I don't fucking know. That's a terrible tactic. Don't copy that. But
Yeah,
I just
don't do
mean,
that.
No.
you would want to incentivize networking to cold audiences. I would say put in work before you go live for the 24-hour stream. But anyway, focus on yourself, focus on your community. And if you don't have one yet, because you have one or two viewers, if you're consistent and you can create micro content that promotes your streams in the post, maybe
Mhm.
you do have a actually kind of live stream that's dead, but you have a nice interaction and engagement across other social medias. Give it time. Be consistent, give it time. Look at your content in review professionally, and like it's a part-time job, and say, why was this not working? And be objective to yourself. Is the lettering not clear? Is the messaging not clear? What purpose do I serve for somebody? Um, am I happy doing it? Do I sound bitter and angry? So, get all of that shit straight, and then blast your message, and then hopefully you will either get networked to somebody through a Discord or so and so, or whoever you hang out in someone else's chat, and then you end up finding out someone else streams, and it's there are ways. There are different ways that you can grow, but um, I wouldn't be so concerned with trying to hit the lottery. It's probably not sustainable, honestly, because even if you do hit the lottery, you would only stream for 5 or 6 years before you just cut it off and did something else.
Yeah,
There's only
like
you can make 90 million a year before you start your own business. You can't just sit in a chair for 90 million. Like, you become like a business mogul or some shit like that. It happens all the time.
yeah. So, um I would say the next thing to go into, because you brought up our history and me being a butterfly or something. I don't know. You went into all types of stuff. It got psychedelic, but
Oh yeah,
um,
that's just me now. Sorry, I'll be out
no,
here.
no, 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 no. Like, I guess explain you trying to work with me, like, developing as far as like the persona,
From
because
like
I think that would be a nice train ride.
I mean, are you letting me off the leash like that? Like, is that
Yeah,
is that?
yeah, yeah.
Just go for it. I
I'm
want to
saying
hear.
I don't
just
know. I
come,
mean,
do
so
it.
I wouldn't. I'm very selective about the people with whom I work. Um, a lot of times, kind of to what you're saying, I get people who are burnt out and they want hacks and they want answers, and it's an immediate disqualifier for me. And that's not a discredit or a disrespectful to them. It's just like, you're just not in a place right now where this is going to work, because what I do long-term marketing strategy. So we do shit over 3 months, 6 months, whatever. Because I mean, if you're going to pay me for like a 2 week ad campaign or some type of promo or something like that, then I would expect you have the existing audience, or your product is dope enough to market. Um, what they say out here in the States, there's only so much shit, or so much lipstick you can put on a pig, some
Yeah,
shit like that.
yeah.
Um, so it's a, it's a mutual thing. So when it came around your way, as much as I loved you and as much as I was in the same boat, trying to grow and figure it out, I approached you within the context of, yo, is it cool if I tinker with your brand or tinker with some brand thingies in exchange for some potential growth? Are you cool with that? But we didn't really put like a quantifiable metric. There was no contract that said, okay, within 3 months you will gain me X followers, or we'll get this much. I have done that where I work with somebody and it's like, okay, I want to increase my average viewers, I want to increase my average minutes watched, things like that. So um, we were just kind of figuring stuff out back then. And for you, we started, I guess, just kind of chit chatting, and I would just tell you, oh, did you know this social media platform works in this way specifically? If you do this with that and this with that, that's such like a minutia thing. We never really qualified on a business level how strategically to spend your time, which is where we are now. At least where I am now is I'm only going to invest time into platforms that give me a good return, that are worth my time. I'm not going to manage an Instagram and a Twitter and it's exhausting. It's not realistic unless you have a team of like 13. So where we fell apart was right there, where you just came right out and admitted, I don't have time and energy for that. And that's not where I am. I need to focus on myself. I need to focus on creating what makes me happy. Gaming doesn't make me happy right now. There isn't a game that keeps my attention. Everything's shit. And you want to make movies. And I think the way that I heard that, it was you, like myself, are a storyteller. So Dreams comes along and allows you to create a kind of like a blank canvas for the stories that you want to tell. I think that's been great for you. So in that way, you were able to step back from everything that I was telling you and kind of pushing you towards, to say you should work on your brand identity. You should work on your digital presence, and manage your schedule with a nice content calendar, and you should do it in these ways, these tactics, and these times, and assess your audience. It was just overwhelming, and you weren't in the right headspace for it. And the best thing you could have done for yourself and for me was just to be honest and say, yeah, I think I just need to focus on me right now. So knowing that about you and knowing that about me, I just let you run. And then I see all this happening now, with your Made in Dreams podcast. And then you got a new friend here. He's got a mustache and a yellow sweater. I forgot his name. See, no, I think it's great. I think you have a strong sense of self, which is ultimately
why I'm
well, let's not blow yourself here.
Just a little.
I often compare it to bartending. No one likes a sad ass bartender. So you got to be you don't got to be Tom Cruise in Cocktail, like flipping shit up at Applebee's and all. You don't got to do all that. That's a little extra. But people do appreciate pouring a good stiff drink in a nice solid conversation, right? And if you're not in the right presence of mind to absorb that of other people, then it's going to be a terrible experience for everybody. So I think maybe that was the best thing that we did for each other, was just let you do what you're going to do.
And what I would say is that I agree with everything you've said. And I'm trying not to get into a thing where we usually get to a debate somehow and then it all goes off the rails. But like my side of that was exactly as he said. And I wasn't in the right space because I really was like, I wanted to create and I didn't have the time and outlet to really focus in on developing the internet strategies of it. But what happened was I would keep everything he told me in my head. And then I was like, you know what? I can't do it. And this is really me being way more honest than I normally I would allow myself to be, but I can't do those details. I just want to create. And so leaving it to myself, I would not be able to follow the guidelines to actually create all these assets or venues in these avenues through social media. That's just not my thing. But what really kicked it off was him telling me Joechuck telling me what I needed. And then I actually found someone who does it naturally, and that being the emperor of the lotion lobby, Jamie James. He, like, y'all don't, I wish y'all knew how much he, like, how many details he pays attention to, like the things he's setting up. Like, he's in the future. This man is 3077, like, doing stuff, and I'm like, good, you do that, and I'm going to focus on this. And then I just pop in
Yeah.
every now and again. And so I found a dynamic and a and a teammate that we shore up each other's. Well, I don't know what he would think his faults are, but I mean, or if he has them. But I'm just saying, like, for me, it came down to, I knew that I couldn't do those things. And you have to be honest with yourself when it comes down to this. Like, are you a marketing person? Are you a person that's going to be going out doing all the meet and greets? Are you going to put the effort in to talk to people? Even if you have your community, should you be the person talking to that community? Or should you find a front man? And I believe that a lot of people, if you are trying to shoot for that, for that next level, even if you are going to stop streaming, maybe you break that streaming off into a website or, your own venues. But, like, how do you see that going? So I know one of the questions you ask all the time, Joechuck, would be, like, where do you see yourself? What was it? Where do you see yourself in 5 or 10 years? Isn't that one of your main questions? Why do you ask people that? Is it just for that reason, or do you use it as a guide for how people should think now about what they intend to do?
It's both, because the preface to that question is, where do you see yourself in 1 year? And then after they answer that, then we go 5 years. It's because if you can say, where do you see, if you can answer where you are in 1 year, then we can unpack how to get there. We can look at what your current constraints are, what your capabilities, and we can set goals. And if you don't hit those goals, that's fine. Nothing wrong with being off the mark. You just go back and you make the fucking adjustment. All right, cool. I didn't hit that. Let's just see if I can stream 3 times a week. Motivation not included. Just get on the horse. Just get on the pole. Do what you got to do. So I ask people that because I do believe now, to make it, you should have a solid sense of intended growth, if not outright strategy. And it doesn't have to be complicated, and it doesn't have to include several platforms across a year. However, if someone can answer that, then we can assess where you are and determine how far you have to go. That's just kind of my theory of it. But there's also the difference between working with people that just want an audience and some people that want to be a community leader, because I've had that too. Some creators just want people to be, like, in awe of them. They want adoration. So I try to evaluate, mutually, people that want to create alongside me for 6 months to a year. So that's also part of that question too. It's kind of telling to me if someone immediately goes, "Oh, I want to make it big, and I want to be here, and I want to be there, and blah, 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 blah," and it's like, all right, well, not everybody makes it into the NBA, kid. And even if you do make it into the NBA, sometimes you ride the bench. So that's just kind of the way that I ask questions.
Jamie, I was gonna go.
No, I like how upfront you are with everything. You don't sort of beat around the bush. You say it how it is, and you're quite realistic with the situation that people think that they want and the reality of what they're actually going to get. I think it's very important to have a very good understanding of the climate that is the internet these days. And, not everyone is going to become the next PewDiePie. It's not going to happen. You can't expect to just start streaming and instantly gain all this following. But I mean, for me personally, it's not about having an audience or having this massive following. You need to have the passion in what you're doing in order for it to work. You can't just stream to expect to get fandom from it. You're in it for the wrong reasons,
Yeah. That's you're right. You're right on the spot for how I evaluate the people I'm going to work with, because egos are real, and I'm not trying to work with the next Kanye. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to work with. I mean, some people, they just need a little bit of gas. That's all they need. So I think that I'm here and I have a sword, sir. Go ahead. No, I think yeah, you should be in it for yourself. You should be in it for your own self-satisfaction, and you should have, a rate of growth. Okay, I just want to make this post for these 5 people that tune in because we enjoyed it. Let's recapture this moment and share it. Or maybe I streamed to 0 people last night, but I hit like a big play, or I built something awesome that's worth sharing elsewhere. So then you make that content for your intended audience, and you have to know your intended audience well enough to say they would like this in this way, presented like this. Maybe you took too long because you put this obnoxious ass pre-card splash. No, I just want to see the post. You should be able to tweet about it, So when we talk about messaging, strip it down to the core, even for yourself, and determine where you are and what you expect to be. And then comes all of the big following. The big following doesn't just come out of nowhere.
No.
You know.
Not unless you make a few good memes.
No. You're seeing a lot of people with their personal brand and their celebrity activate on Twitch, where they're transitioning out of, say like being known for one thing, and then creating access to their brand as a fly on the wall. You see this with Backstreet Boys dude, Nick Carter. You see this with Timbaland. You see this with T-Pain. You see this with basketball players like Zach LaVine. You see this with a lot of people that, like even AOC. People have a gigantic following elsewhere, and they're yanking people over and seeing if, at the same time, there's anybody on Twitch that exists already that may be interested in their brand, and then they monetize off of that because they start paywalling access to their streams and all the other shit. It's just a way to like monetize and reproduce brand loyalty among a new audience. So now, if you go to Timbaland's Twitter, he has as his link in his Twitter bio his Twitch. That's, to me, pretty telling of the power of Twitch, that somebody of that stature is saying, not Timbaland.com, not Beat Club, not any of that. It just says Timbaland, Twitch TV. You know what I'm saying? So Twitch is a very powerful tool. I think it's one component that people have figured out if you already have a following. If you do not have a following, which is the context of this conversation, then you have to be prepared to be somewhat of a marketer, or at least be a brand curator for your ideal community, right? Say you're not awesome with the socials, and you can't think of a good way to make a strong emotional connection to somebody, because comedy is not always it. Funny is not always the best way. Emotional connection is. Say you don't know how to access your audience's thoughts and feelings on demand, and you don't know how to improv on camera, and you kind of just create a bunch of shit. That's fine. Just do a bunch of streams, look at your video on demands after a week or two, and decide what's worth sharing. What do you want to put the public eye on? And even if you post it and no one comments on it for 2 weeks or a month or 3 months or something like that, which is very realistic for many of us, then spend some time networking and interacting with other people who you find genuinely interesting. You say, yeah, I think I want to sit with you at the lunch table. That sounds cool. And then if it doesn't work out because they turn out to be a snake or two-faced, then fuck them. Keep going. It's all good. That's nothing against you. You're just ideally trying to make authentic friends and work your way into a dreams community.
Just testing the waters and seeing what sticks.
Yeah, that's kind of the way that, if you have a big following, anything's easy. Everything's easy. Hindsight's 2020, right? So that's why all these growth, all these hacks, these fucking YouTube channels exist for everything, and it's exhausting. But the fact of the matter is that many people don't have that. So as the creator of nothing, then you should spend your time working on yourself to create something worth investing in. And then you can go back and say, unpack that. Make a YouTube video to yourself. Never ever share it. Okay, what works here? This video worked. This video picked up because of this. I streamed to 0 people 3 nights a week. Maybe I post some micro content and something catches, and then someone ideally hops from one platform to Twitch while you're live and checks you out. You better sit up straight and work on your retention. Hey, what's going on? How you doing? How's your day
Yeah.
going? So it's this big daisy chain of cause and effect, and it's not an accident, and it has nothing at all to do with just being out there around the corner hustling your heart out for people. So
Well, let me because I want to, if you want to talk about it, because I know you've run into a few things going this route, um, and I think you probably see it in chat. Yeah, there you go. But you've had people like Basket Snake said, I'm curious how many followers this guy has. He talks like he has tens of thousands. I would say that's the point.
I never ever wanted that, and I don't want that. I actively avoid that. If my Twitter starts getting hyped up with marketing shit and everybody's like, "Go talk to this guy," I start tanking. I start intentionally posting game clips, and I start using like language that I know that they wouldn't like. I'd start saying like the F bomb and shit like that, just to drive back to myself. I never ever want to be an influencer of influencers. That is such an exhausting thing. I never ever want to do that. However, for my group that I'm working with now, they're like, "Yo, Joechuck, you should make a couple videos because we want a couple quick bites, couple quick hits." And so, if you work with me, we meet once a week, and I'll probably put you in like a graduating class or something like that, depending on what the mix is. And so we have weekly topics. One of the weekly topics was personifying your brand, and so everybody's different. Everybody's at a different stage. So I made a general universal video, and I put it on YouTube talking about things that my group should do as a reminder to them. But I mean, I didn't go hard and promote it and say like and follow and subscribe and all that shit because that's not my rate of growth. I have a job. I can step back and do this on the side. So that's the whole idea is I'm accessing streaming from a marketing perspective. I'm not accessing streaming to make it anymore. And it was always a very passive thing to me. But I did see a lot of people get unhappy, and myself, I got unhappy too. I got really fucking bummed that you know people would just stop by and say hi and leave, or maybe I was worried about numbers too much, and then I realized how far off from my original idea on the couch that Mighty and I had, where I was like, yeah, we're funny as shit, we're having a great time, people would love this. I was so far from that that I never ever want to be on that track. I do want to help people become community leaders, so I do have 10 years worth of marketing experience in different roles and digital presence and brand management. That's all part of the game.
So
But that's the part that's missing from streaming.
yeah. So to answer the question, he has the real life follows. just that. I mean, he's not gonna say it, but he has the actual IRL job that allows him to live his life and be nice to, well, to give his wares to people online just because he wants to do it and enjoys it. So
I've been trying to explain it as if I just been Robin Hooded, like Robin Hooding out of corporate marketing and then trying to help out people that are willing to put in the work and understand that it's not a just add water thing. It really is something that happens over time. And if you do it long enough, much like playing the guitar or writing a song or the act of songwriting, then you get better at it over time. Um, that's just the way it is. I think a lot of us get down on ourselves really fucking fast. So that's just kind of how it goes in my mind. And I think with the people that I care about, which is why I also made statements around, I'm very careful about the people that I work with too. Um, it's a pretty fun experience. I think I've gotten close to what I call first wave, which is really not the first wave because like Mighty was the first wave too. So I don't know, man. It's not really about following to me. It's about helping people that I fucking care about. And if I care about you, then I help you. It was never really about taking anybody to the bank. I think I've only charged maybe 3 people for tangible assets. Like I made a graphics package for them, which was like me handing you stuff. But the strategy sessions and stuff like that, all for this year was supposed to be market research. And it's starting to take. But the issue that I'm having, to be completely transparent, is making that worth someone's money. And for the money they spend, what do they expect back? So that's why it's been troubleshooting. And, I approach money in that context. Is it okay if I tinker with your brand? Do you want to try this out and maybe get some growth? But that'd be up to him subjectively if he learned anything from me. But
I
it was
did.
all free.
I did.
Yeah.
I just know that you could, because the reason I wanted to point out that question from chat is because I know that we've talked, and I don't know how much you can really go into it, but I know we've talked about people saying that because when they see what you do online, they're like, who's this guy to be talking about this stuff? And it's
It's
like,
it's like super threatening to like some people. Some people are like, "Yo, watch out for that dude. That dude's fucking selling snake oil." Like I've had people like say that about me too, which
yeah.
is just fair. That's cool.
Yeah. Are you, I know you had said that there were some things in the winds. Did you want to talk about those possibly?
What you mean?
You were
You just
talking
asked.
about, well, I mean, I don't want to put any business out there that's not supposed to be out there, but you were talking about some opportunities that might be.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you know, your boy's been interviewing for a couple things here and there, but we'll just see what happens. I'm not committed to anything more than because I don't want it to ever come at the cost of what I'm currently doing, which is helping people become better marketers for themselves. But I do got I got kids and a mortgage, and I got to go for sustainability. So I'll make that decision if the opportunity presents itself, for sure. Um,
Well, well, look, being that it came up, I do want to take a moment to do this. Um, we we made two flashy things. I had posted on Twitter. I had posted on Twitter earlier today saying that I had two surprise announcements, and I made y'all vote for which one you would get. Now, unfortunately for the ever unfortunately for the ever eager Jammy, it's
Mhm.
not the one that he doesn't know. So,
No, come
so-
on.
but we did want to say, because we had done a few polls, people said they were interested.
I
So
did.
we wanted to go ahead and throw out that we have made the new merch, and it is officially available right now. So if you want to, feel free to today, because of Black Friday, it's 20% off
On everything.
on everything in the store. And soon we will have the Dreams for Kids shirts.
We
And all the proceeds from that are going to go to our first recipient that we're working on finding now for an underprivileged creative child that would benefit from having dreams. So we are working on this.
It
But
just
for
takes
now,
time.
it takes time. It takes time to run your own charity event. so,
you mean
so
you actually have to plan something out? You have to
yeah,
like
yeah,
strategy.
yeah, yeah. I
You
mean,
have to make
and
investments. Is
yeah,
that what you're
and
saying?
Jamie, did you say you have to make a difference?
No investment.
you, you actually have to do things and make a difference.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll be having those up from now on, and we'll be adding merchandise to it. Yes, as you did see, there are the mind grapes.
And there's lobby as well.
Yes, the mind grapes and the lotion lobby, as well as just Made in Dreams podcast shirts, hats, totes. I even put my mind grapes on the what do you call it, the toddler onesie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got my mind grapes on a toddler onesie. So if y'all having children out there, put this face on them. Put this face on them. All right. All right. Now, as far as basket steak, you said this podcast is just weird. This is an off-brand episode, but
Oh, is it weird? I'm sorry. Am I
no,
making this weird?
no,
No.
Sorry.
Well,
no,
it's
baby, it's
important
us, not
to-
you. No.
It's important for people to understand how to market themselves. I mean, you know, Dreams is quite a new community. It's very new. It's in its baby steps, and I think it's very important to have the groundwork in from the beginning, so that as you grow as a person, you have that insight on how to grow your community.
Yeah, yes. And I appreciate that you said that. And I don't know if basket is a regular around here or not, and I'm not trying to make anything weird or funky for you. But access the game and access the world, the context that you intend to. I just wanted to stop people from going live and wondering why. Some people can play a game and never ever go live and have just as much fun. The running joke in the Destiny community is the real end game of Destiny is surviving Destiny Twitter. So you know, it's a fucking hero's trial. It is. It's exhausting dealing with people's opinions, and you get dopamine deficits and then comparative review. But when you're talking about a game like Dreams and it is really about creation and just a sandbox, then that comes first. That's ultimately what comes first. If you're trying to stream it to grow, then that's the context of this conversation. Is if you would like to grow, and ideally this would apply to any game that you play in 2020, just have a good sense of what every channel does, what purpose it serves, and how you use them. Otherwise, you're subject to all of the venomous comments that come across the board that may actually hurt your feelings after a while. Grow on your own, rate of, you know what I'm saying? Just do for you, and people will do with you.
Yeah, and see that is
You're gonna have a Twitter full of go lives, going live, going live, going. So,
yeah.
you're a
Yeah.
fuck-
I
you're-
I get that every Friday when I go through my Twitter. It's just
Yeah.
going live, going live, going live, going live, going live.
I
And
mean,
there's not even anything there to like entice you to come in. There's no picture, there's no
right.
branding or individualism with their tweet to sort of entice you into coming on. It's just, hey, I'm going live, come join me. To me, that's not enough. I
Right.
need you to give me something unique.
That's
Yeah.
largely one of the main principles of marketing, which is from I get it over here in corporate and I bring it down here to, well, not down here, but over here to streaming in some young small businesses. I look at you all like a small business. You want to post conversations, not information. You can only have conversations with people that are worth having conversations with. You want to facilitate positive interaction, meaningful engagement, not just likes, not just follows, not just raids. Retain people. That's like walking into a bar and just opening up your jacket saying, "You guys want to buy these knives?" That's what's going on here. I'm drinking, and then on this side you got a bunch of sex toys. So you want to have a conversation and not just post information. So posting going lives, to your point, there's no value in that. Using buzzwords like engagement and whatever. Sure, that's pretty broad though. You can improve specific things about your stream if you professionally spend your time and look at yourself in review. What do I want to improve? I had a lot of people come, but not a lot of people stay. How can I get them to stay? What do I got to do to make them stay? Just start slicing your pie differently. Fuck, I don't know.
And yes, thank you, Adventwave. Dino Quest, say hi at least before you start promoting yourself. So, like, dag, just jumped in hot. Just
Yeah, come play my shit.
I heard y'all like dreams around here. Come
Yeah.
like the hopes and dreams of orphans.
But thank you for at least clicking to join us. Get that spike. Get that.
I'm like super I'm like uber bummed that this is a weird stream now. Sorry, I apologize.
No, it's not. It's not.
No.
You
for
heard my
one.
fucking feeling.
Oh
basket.
no! Oh no!
And that's branding. That's performative.
But let me see.
It's definitely a different type of episode than what we normally do, but we always had the intention of doing different. We didn't want to just be. We will obviously need to be consistent. That's obviously a key point in marketing. You have to be consistent. That's why we're always live every Friday at 8 p.m. GMT, 3 p.m. EST. But we didn't want to just keep rehashing the same thing. So, let's just get a guest on and talk about their creations. Then next week, it's another guest talking about their creations. We wanted to spice things up and open this podcast to help the community. And that's why we want people like yourself on the show, not just to talk about, creations that's made within Dreams, but how we can help dreamers get better at doing the things that not necessarily any other dreamer is talking about. I don't know any other podcast that has targeted dreams that talks about how to market your content. So that's why we're trying different things to try and help everybody in this community.
I respect that. I mean, there's a lot of generalities that we kind of speak in now about what it takes to make it and setting your expectations and stuff. But the actual X's and O's would be up to you. That's all subjective. I mean, if you pay me as your full-time employee, I'll do it for you for sure. But for the context of just in general, if you're growing with any stream, and yeah, it might be worth your time to look at how you spend your time and what you get out of it. And if you're frustrated because numbers are getting you down, then I can't imagine what's going to happen to you if you were to make it with 3,000 people in your chat. You'd probably cripple. Oh, fuck. I don't know what I say. Is this mic on? Like, you'd probably be awkward as fuck. So it's all about having a good sense of self. Honestly, it is.
I think that's very important to have, that self-worth. It's like, I feel like I'm kind of defending everything when I'm saying what I'm saying, but it's purely out of passion for everything that we're doing. And I think that's the most important thing when it comes to anything, whether it be, trying to up your game on Twitter, trying to get streamers onto your streams, or, trying to get people involved in your creations on Dreams, whatever the case may be. You need that passion, because it rubs off on people. If you're really excited about something, then your viewers are going to be excited about it too. You have to have the right emotion with things.
I work with people on a brand management level. I try to avoid the Twitch level, the streamer level, because Basket's right. And this isn't to pick on him at all, but this is exactly the context of this conversation, is that I don't have authority on how to make partner. I don't fucking care to, because it's a 50 split and it's a lot of time in a chair that I personally feel that I could manage elsewhere and get a better return on.
Yeah.
So giving that as an example, I do spend a lot of time on Twitter. I do spend a lot of time in DMs, in one-to-one calls, out of Discord. That's how I spend my time to build what I wanted for myself. What works for you is specific to you, but let's have a good sense of awareness of it, so we don't get dragged down with, oh, my Twitch isn't growing, oh, my Twitter game sucks, no one likes my Instagram post. As you build and you create, remember, you're a creator. You're accessing this fantastic sandbox to tell a story and create a brand. So you can make a branded experience. Like Hellbound Reaper is in chat. I went to him exclusively for artwork because I fucking love it. But over time, he created a body of work that was distinctly him. So now I have an early catalog of his work, and if he ever makes it, I'll fucking charge someone out the door for it. So, gotcha. But getting to know him was in the early stages of building a community. Like I no longer want to help streamers become better streamers. I want to help streamers become better marketers, which is the way that I access all of this now. Is I look at your total digital presence, and then I say, well, you're burning the clock here. Why did you do that 24-hour stream with no promotion in the post, no promotion in the pre-roll? What was the point of that? So I don't know. I mean, do what you want with it, but that's just kind of the way that I think about brands online, because of the ecosystem that exists now, where someone's doing like a Nerf product activation and they want to find a streamer to access that community. So then you have a micro and macro influencer relationship. It's entirely possible that Dreams becomes that. It's entirely possible that Dreams becomes a farming ground for small filmmakers and small game developers. You could use that as part of your portfolio. Your body of work is that, yes, in 1 year I made 17 different titles with different games to different artists, and I know this person from there and there and there and there, and so is over here with that. Yes, you can do it like that, because everything's accessible and instantaneous now.
Whoa, you're muted.
All right. So as I was saying, sorry, I was doing that so it wouldn't pick up me typing when I was typing in chat, but then I stopped typing to just talk. But yeah, Dino, what it is that basically this is about branding and marketing within new creators to dreams that are streaming, and the pitfalls that happen when basically you don't get the reception you want, how to focus on making yourself visible as well as, marketing yourself within social media so that your creations get seen. And every artist wants their things to be seen. So that's why we have on today Joechuck, or at Fight Wordsmith on Twitter, to basically go over those different strategies that you can implement, or the thought processes behind how to get yourself out there. So that's why you're not hearing us speak about sculpting tools, but at the same time, why this is still important to people that are in dreams, because I've as I pointed out earlier, it's starting to hear those people on Twitter that are like, I've been streaming, no one shows up, blah 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 blah. Like that's not a good feel for those people, or the people who have to listen to that already know what we're talking about and why it is the way it is. So if you like, that's how it applies to dreams. That's why we're not just, playing people's dreams today.
Yeah, and that's the whole spiel that I went into. But the way that I access streamers is to hopefully educating them and elevating them to do total brand management. It's entirely possible for a group of dreamers to get together in the name of a charity and challenge themselves and say, within 2 months, we're going to make a whole story, 5-minute game or experience or whatever the hell, whatever you guys want to do in the name of charity. And then you do that several times over a year, and it's a branded effort. And now suddenly you're a small development team that's worth promoting and marketing because you work together. But it's all from experience and intention. It's all about that. So yes, the X's and O's of using dreams and featuring each other's stuff is good. Self promo aside, this is more about becoming a community manager and developing your niche community. So if you have that sense of awareness as you go in, then maybe it's not so exhausting and it's not such a letdown if you don't get what you want straight away. Maybe you can get there over time with the right attitude and the right efforts. Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. Also, Jamie, you had made some posts recently because you put us in the running for the Impies.
We did, yes. We have been promoting for favorite streamer for Dreams. It seems quite relevant, seeming as we've been doing this now for 15 episodes.
16.
Or 16. Oh yes, sorry, it's 16 with the with the reveal. Yes,
the Asian person, yeah.
15 official episodes and 1 special. So we are doing that for the streaming side, and then obviously for Dino, which is a game that we're developing. We're also asking for votes on that. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Dreams community vote for.
Yeah, and can I show them your little pop up that you made for it?
Yeah,
here we go, guys. Check out the bottom of the screen. Here we go. Yeah. See, it's official. It's official out here.
Well, look, I mean, just to touch on that, I mean, the Impies is obviously, the thing that Media Molecule do now is the second one that they've done with, it being so new. If you do decide to vote for us, we just really appreciate you taking the time to vote for us for favorite streamer. This podcast to me means so much. I've met so many new people. We've managed to build this team together now, and we're building this game, and we get to talk to amazing streamers and amazing dreamers and really delve into the games and their thought process and creation process. And I feel like we've really made something special here, that, on a Friday, we are always here and the Dreams community has something to go to and they know that it's going to be there. And that feels really special to me. And if you guys decide to vote for us, it would be awesome. We would love to win an Impy for it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I would love to, but at the same time, I also know it's far fetched.
Oh yeah,
I feel maybe it's
I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not going
to. What's the expected competition then, from like a strategy perspective? Like, what are you expecting to be out there?
I mean, there's a lot of cool streamers. I mean, that's just the bottom line. Like, there's a lot of cool creatives out there that do a lot of stuff. So, for anything, I mean, it just seems like, could we? Yeah. I mean,
yeah, I guess that's what I'm saying is it, I mean, are you being judged on your final product, like the elegance and skill, or are you being judged on a community leader? You know, like
there's a bunch of different categories that it's going through, and we've done like thrown in for a few. So,
okay.
But there's one for like content creation, there's one for streaming, there's one for content curation, which it's All-Star should definitely get.
Yeah, 100%.
100%.
Oh, but he can't now because he works for Media Molecule.
Oh yeah, I forgot Media Molecule picked him up, so he got the real impy. he got the real
sustainability. He got a solid income.
Yeah. So, but you know, just all types of things. Like, so is it possible? Yes, but I do know that there are a lot of super creative people and a lot of super creative things, whether they be games or movies or short films or whatever that have been created. So, like, I feel like we're, you know, just a drop in the bucket. But, you know, I do agree with Jamie. I do feel like we're doing something special here that, you know, we've been told by the people that we interview, you know, that they didn't know what to expect when they came here, but they love what happened. So how does one find collaborators? One finds collaborators by what we were talking about earlier, by giveaway merch, lol.
Damn.
What, lol? No, you find collaborators by becoming a part of the community. Like, it's as simple as that. Like, you become part of the community. Like, if you use the hashtag Made in Dreams earlier on your previous post, Dino, well, check out what other people are putting in that hashtag. See what they're doing. And if you like what you see under that hashtag on whatever social media you're in, start talking to them. Say, hey, how did you do that? Like, build a rapport with people, and that's how you get real collaboration, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's you get to know your community.
When you talk about personal branding, I mean, again, conversation, not information.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to say it. Meaningful conversation, actual, authentic interactions is what builds a friendship, what builds a community worth interacting with. That's what creates that sense of FOMO. But what supports that is consistency, constantly presenting your quality of work, and it's all relative. So yes, tactically you could go in and do hashtag research the way that Mighty said. You could do Discord, you could hang out in chats, you could, I don't know, just stop making it about yourself so much and start building to collaborate, because conversation is a two-way thing. You have to listen to as much as you have to speak. It's not always about showing off. Sometimes it's about just helping somebody out that might need a hand.
Yep. And let's see, if you want, what I'll do here. Well, Eddie already got it. Eddie already got it.
Is he there with the Made in Dreams one?
Hopefully. If not, that's the Made in Dreams one. Just, join our Discord, and there are tons of creators there. And just spark a conversation. See who gets back to you, and just talk to people.
And the best thing. Sorry, go on.
No. Go for it.
I mean, the best thing is, Dino, is especially from a personal perspective, I've never seen a community that is as collaborative as Dreams. I mean, that's the whole point of Dreams, is to collaborate. I mean, you know, you can't expect to create the next big game by yourself, and Dreams was pretty much built for people to collaborate together. So the whole community is pure collaboration. I mean, that's how we built the team that we have. I had this idea for a game. I thought it'd be brilliant, but I knew I didn't have the capacity to develop it myself. So I put the word out there, and now we have a team of 10 people working on this game that we hope to release next year. And the game is now 6 times bigger than what I originally intended it to be, because we now have the capacity to build it. So just, you need to get your stuff out there, speak to people, and show what it is that you have to offer. And then you will find people that have the same passion for your project as you do, and hopefully you'll be able to build something from it.
Within the context of this whole conversation and podcast, may I ask you how many times you put your message out there and failed before you found this current iteration?
Well,
go ahead and chuckle, you son of a.
Because I'm going to ask Mighty the same thing, because I know Mighty's answer, but I'm going to ask him too.
To be blunt, I didn't fail. The first time I asked, I got.
Bitch.
Yeah, the first time he asked, he got me.
Must be nice.
The first time he asked, he got me, and then
it might be you.
Which I did because I asked and got no one. And I was like, you know what? Well, go ahead.
And I mean, this is an exercise in authenticity. This is something that I do when I'm working with people. Is just let's just cut the shit. And hindsight's 2020 was what I was saying earlier. And that's not that your commentary is not valuable. It's just that the reality is that yes, you should put yourself out there, but also be prepared to fail and be consistent, because I don't know if your group knows this or not, but this is Mighty's maybe 4th handle or 4th name.
Oh yeah.
And his like 6th or 7th podcast over the course of 10, 15 years.
2 weeks.
Going back to the strongest there is.
2 weeks.
You know what I'm saying? So,
4th or 5th podcast in the last 2-3 weeks.
No, I mean like started like Sunset, like podcasts. And
I know for sure that I got lucky when I asked out, for help in creating something. I definitely got lucky when, I said I want to build a team and this is what I want to do.
You hear that, Will? He got lucky. It's almost like he just pivoted and was very agile.
Mm-hmm. His agility-ness.
I appreciate how difficult it can be to build a team and have a reliable team, especially when you're building something that's free and on a platform that's very closed off. You can't expect people to invest so much time into something where they're not going to necessarily get a lot out of it. Right. So for people,
just to kind of say like how much dedication it takes on your end. It's not necessarily that, oh, you got it first try. That wasn't the point. The point is that it's oftentimes iterative, the process, and yourself out there is a part of that. Putting yourself asking, meeting, conversing with people is part of that game, and that's where you get mental fatigue and you kind of get bummed out that maybe people don't care about your shit as much as you do, whatever the case. But it is something that happens over time, over a decade, and you get better at it, and you build resilience and you build self-confidence about it, and it's totally fine if someone doesn't want to interact with it, but you're going to keep trying. This you're working on right now may fail. That's not the point. That you worked with all these people now, and you say, "Oh, back in 2020 during the quarantine, we did this awesome project." Oh, it's the one that got away.
Oh yeah, well that's the mentality at least that I have with it. I mean, I don't expect to become the next big indie developer with Dino, the game that we're creating. Let me explain. I mean, obviously we have ambition for this to hopefully kick off. That's the whole point of this whole team. We want to be game developers. We want to be in the industry, and we feel that Dreams is the best introductory way to get into that. It's the simplest tool to do it in. But at the same time, if nothing does come of it, we've still made a game. We still built a team. We've met new people, and we did something that we never thought possible to do, and that in itself is an achievement. So it's a win-win whichever way it goes.
Yeah, I would agree entirely, and I think maybe that's kind of what I was trying to highlight, because you can't always hit the lottery type of deal. The experiences that you build with people that matter to you, in the end, sometimes that's all we have. Not every.
And just to go back to that whole pivot statement because
Pivot.
yeah, pivot is
God.
like for Dino specifically because when I first reached out and I didn't hear from anyone and like I was seeing people attach themselves to all sorts of things, I was just like, man, maybe this isn't going to work out. But then I was like, you know what? Let me just start working and see where it goes. Let me just start doing what I can do. And then when I saw someone else ask for help, I was like, well, let me step back and not look at what I want to do. Let me be what I wanted other people to be in the community. Like I'm going to be there for someone else, even though no one showed up for me. And then that'll grow into, something beautiful, hopefully. And so far it has. As I've stated earlier in the podcast, like I've gotten a lot out of it. I mean, probably a business partner. Like, for when we have to go offline one day. Like that's, you can't be afraid. Like you can't be stuck on just what you want to do. Sometimes going the other route will work out just as well. So like, don't get discouraged or anything like that. I would say if you don't hear back, you're going to hear back from somebody, I feel. But, if you don't, just know that, go help somebody else. Go help
Yeah, I
somebody
mean,
else.
it's all about developing your own skill set anyway. Somebody may ask
Yeah.
you to do something that you just don't know how to do, but you're prepared to learn. And that sometimes that's the actual lesson is I don't know how to do that. No, but I am ready and willing to learn. And then you acquire that skill and you put it in your own shit.
Yeah,
So
exactly. And that and that's another side of dreams. Dreams is forever evolving, and there's so many different techniques, and everyone's trying to have their unique style. So even if no one's interested in your project, join someone else's team. You will get just as much out of that as you would have done with your own team developing your game. You can develop those skills working on something else, and then incorporate that into your design, and then your game that you originally intended to create will be 10 times better because you have experience from another team that you worked with.
And
So, it's win-win.
And I want to jump back in because he says, this is much more competitive than I thought. I didn't know that this side of dreams existed. I'm thankful for you guys answering my questions. Well, no problem on that. But let me correct that for
yeah.
1
Next one.
second.
Yeah.
It's not that dreams is competitive. It's that dreams is such a huge, it's just such a beautiful tool that all the people who ever wanted to create and never had the means to do so before now have the means to do so. So you're just one person in millions who wants to complete a project. So it's not necessarily competitive as it is just everybody's working. Like,
Yeah, it's just overly passionate.
Yeah, every single person that you could possibly run into, they'll still help, probably.
I mean,
but they're
that's an
also
assessment
working
of
on
the
10 other
audience.
they're also working on 10 other projects. So it's just the way it works.
Yeah. I think what you're saying is the average dreams user is probably a creative who is overcommitted.
Oh yeah, for
Out of the
sure. I
average
mean, the
project.
majority of what you would say
There's-
is well-versed streamers. Then they are drenched in work.
Yeah.
Completely
is
drenched.
there such thing as a pedestrian dreams user? Dreamer?
Yeah.
Yeah, me.
Who's just, okay. You know what I mean? I mean, which is really just this is just a testament to how well do you know your intended audience.
Yeah.
Is there a way to play dreams for just like noobs to just play like once a week, or is it like, no, I have this project, I need this awesome tool, I'm gonna fucking go?
No,
Well,
I mean, the
dreams
other
is
side of dreams is
it's split. You have the ability to create or the ability to play. You don't have to get into dreams to create. You can literally buy dreams to just play thousands of indie made games. So you don't have to be in the community for the purest of creation. You can just be
So-
there to play the creations that's been made.
So then with this podcast, then are you aiming towards based on your chat, the creators or the players?
I would say both, but not in the same episode.
I would say both, but I would say that our viewership would lean more on creators than players.
Because you feature creators as projects.
Yeah, exactly.
I would agree. But when you go to market or when you promote that on social, I should say, then you would be promoting that creator's project to other creators or to hopeful players to say, yo, experience this person's project. We had them on the show.
Well,
You should check this game out and play it. Like, what's
that's
your angle there?
that's the beauty of it. The creators are also the players. This community is.
I knew that. I'm saying when you post about that person on social, are you posting it from the angle to help attract more players of that game that you just featured, or are you posting it to attract more creators to your podcast?
I would say more creators, but what we talk about once we're in the podcast, it goes into everything dreams. Like many times we've had tons of conversations about
in the podcast,
about the marketing of dreams. But the thing is like, I would say it's hard to do that. And as far as like trying to bring in new players with our format, you have people that literally stream just playing people's games to show people what exists within dreams. That's not our goal. Our goal is to show them what's being made, but also the creative side of it, and also why it's important that people who aren't just creators get involved. You pointed
touched my temple and pointed at you. That's what I did.
Yeah. Well, what? Give me the words behind that, though.
You just did. The reason why I asked that is to show that you all as podcast creators have intention and know your target audience. And the way that you use different cuts of your podcast is different. The live podcast right now, being that this was called weird and people are still figuring out what it is in chat, which is fine. My perception is that this is just an exploratory space for everything dreams related. And it's a fantastic experience for both creators and players. On social media, if you promote your guest or featured person from the podcast, in my mind, you could ideally promote to players and maybe make a pipeline of featuring the person from your show to get more players in their game, so they get more user feedback, to get more creators to say, oh, I can do that too. So it's this big like cycle. Yeah. But that's just my assessment of it. But you have your own assessment, which is the important thing, is that you know exactly what you're doing. This isn't an accident. That's the context of this entire podcast, is that the creators should have intention and you should measure success appropriately and make adjustments. That's it. And it happens over time. So, okay, cool. It took you 6 months, or it took you 2 weeks, it took you 1 year. You're still growing.
Yeah.
That's kind of that's why I was asking, just to see what you thought it was to your own group.
And I like what we've done only because while I'm not sabotaging myself, well, not intentionally, like Joechuck was saying, where it's like, oh, I'm blowing up, let me dox these numbers a little bit. But the one thing
I tank it hard.
The one thing we've cared about, being me and Joechuck, over the years, as I said, we started streaming together, is I've always wanted to grow as organically as possible. Like, I'd rather have 50 hardcore viewers. I'm halfway there. I'd rather have 50 hardcore viewers than like 30,000 people with a chat flying up that I can't even have a conversation with. Like, that's how I've always been. So, yeah, like I'm very happy with the growth, even though there are many who would look at our numbers probably and be like, plebs. And that's but I can do that because I'm on my schedule. I'm a grown ass man.
Let me put it this way. I mean,
I'm an adult.
I mean, numbers are just numbers at the end of the day, and you shouldn't look at numbers. I mean, if we only had one person come to this show every week, I would still have the motivation to do it, because we are still providing something for that one person. And that, to me, is enough to continue to do this.
Yes, absolutely. Because sometimes that is the reality for a lot of people out there, is that they get one person and those the day ones that we talked about. And one of the basic marketing and branding principles I work with and try to push on to the people that I work with is make dope shit that helps people. Literally just focus on yourself, focus on your product and what purpose it serves to your intended audience. And it ideally you'll get better at it and you'll be able to express your intention, concise, clear language. Much better than I've answered questions right now. I kind of just rambled my way through this whole fucking podcast. But from a brand management and marketing perspective, you have to have like a waypoint and you're just going, you're just going there. And then if you change directions, then fine, whatever. But I don't think everybody should be in it just to make it. Twitch, I mean, if you want to talk about it from just a Twitch perspective, I mean, how sustainable is Twitch alone? How many people do you know that stream just solely on Twitch without any other product integration or brand representations?
I know one.
Sustained and just off their total income is just all I do is go live with no sponsorships.
All I do is go live.
No, I don't know if they if everything comes from Twitch. I'm not too sure actually. I'm chatting with someone at the moment. I don't want to drop any names, but their goal is to do Twitch and Twitch alone, nothing else, no work, just sit and stream all day. And as of right now, they've been doing it for about I don't know, a couple of months, and that person is sustaining themselves, but not to the point where they want to be. But this person doesn't have a job, and they're streaming, and that's it. But I don't know how.
I mean,
well
getting by
going.
is getting by. Everybody
Yeah.
fucking gets by. But I just mean like make it. Like that's my full-time job, and so I'm going to retire on that. So
yeah, I mean,
that's that 5-year, 1-year question is where do you see yourself in 5 years?
But it's just a pipe dream, though, isn't it? I mean, at this point, it's such a competitive market. It's such a competitive market. I mean, how I couldn't ever see ourselves. I mean, at least for this podcast, I couldn't see ourselves just streaming dreams and being able to quit our jobs and just do this all day and be paid out of it. It's not a plausible business strategy.
I think right now with the way that I'm reading the tea leaves for 2021 and through 2025 is
Mad Max 2021.
It's I think it's entirely possible for you to start to attract other game developers and pivot just to a game development podcast. And Dreams is always your cornerstone and kind of bread and butter, but I think it's entirely possible for you to begin to crack into the gaming world and the kind of behind the curtain development, and feature the people that made the games. I think that would be interesting. All the way back to Xbox 360, we learned about the one Megamind that made the title Cliffy B. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
the Cliffy B game. So if you got to that level, I think that'd be sustainable. And then you do some product integrations and some marketing things, and brought to you by Hot Wings or whatever the fuck.
Hot Wings.
Hot Wings.
That's how podcasting works. That's how you monetize podcasting just in general right now. There is a new way to do it. Twitch is just the live feature of it. You could easily be on YouTube Live. You could make your own .com and be exclusively there if you think that would be the bottom of the funnel place to measure your success. But right now, Twitch is just a free platform. It's like selling on Etsy right now. It's rented land right now. But this as a brand could be independent and work to serve a greater audience outside of Twitch, ideally. But you do start here and you do see that and you recognize that value. But I've kind of spiraled, but the future of it is entirely there with the intention that you two have. I think it's a fantastic thing.
Oh,
yeah.
Thanks, man.
And I mean, our numbers are like worldwide, bro. No. Sometimes we just sit back.
Hey,
and look at
how
our
many
stats.
followers you got though? How many people fucking following you though?
What I'm just
Are they
saying,
bots?
are we counting all of them, like from every platform?
What's your engagement velocity?
Can we
When you
combine
post
them?
within 30 minutes? You got motherfuckers liking your shit.
So
The majority of the time, we do actually.
yeah, hey, we're
Hey,
making it.
I'm defending us here.
No, I was poking fun. It's all relative. It's all relative. Raising your authority within one category is a testament to your ability to build a niche market. So once people understand what your page is for, your social media page is for, it's related to a product, which is really just a redirect to a very strong product. So the more you work on your product and the more you market it, the closer to a business you will be. You mix a good product with good marketing and it helps people, which is the basis of the conversation, is make dope shit that helps people, then the better business you're going to have.
Nice.
So like for like, follow for follow. Everybody drop it in the comments below. I'm following everybody for the next 24 hours. Fuck out of here with that shit.
Oh god, that's terrible stuff.
Tag all your friends, little
Like-
engagement pods.
Oh,
Oh,
I
I'm gonna
can't-
say his name. Red had that dude come around on my thing. I'm like, Red, get your boy. He's like, I don't know. He's kind of nice on my stream. I'm like, Red, if you don't get your boy out my stream, he's just God. Like for like, lurk for lurk, look for lurk, look for lurk, look for lurk. And then you would call him out like, yo, what are you doing? And he would type a paragraph back. Like he was a person. It wasn't a bot. It was a dude. He would just be like, L for L. I'm like, hey man, no.
All right. Thanks, Vin. So
you're muted
might have
again.
muted.
Yeah.
You're muted.
Rip.
yeah, I was. I saw it.
You didn't miss anything.
No, we were just going on about lurk for lurks.
Follow
I mean,
for follow.
that has got to be the most worst thing you can do. I think is like for like.
Oh, yeah,
follow for
okay,
follow.
so-
Oh god.
If the intended audience for this podcast is to help the young and upcoming or noob streamer, then yeah, I would push you towards authenticity. I would push you to avoid those types of false engagement tactics because that's just bloat. I mean, so what? So you have 5,000 followers, but no one likes your shit. No one comments. You get free organic reach off a platform that's eventually going to charge you for it. In particular, Instagram and Facebook, they give you access to free people with high organic reach, and then they paywall it. They want you to boost to posts and stuff. Whereas free things like TikTok right now, you get in on it and you're already late, but there's always going to be something up and new and up and coming. But learn each platform, stay away from engagement tactics that are cheesy, anything bot like, and hashtags are to find your niche community. So don't just make it an output. Fucking research them. Go through those hashtags. Here's a good example. Streamers of Instagram is not always streamers. Sometimes it's dudes with fly fishing shit.
Yeah.
So every now and then you'll just see some dude talking about streamers from a fly fishing. You're like, well, it's not the same thing at all.
Lol.
So take a look. Take a look at your stuff.
So, we have a lot of love for the lotion lobby.
I know. I'm
through
looking at the chat.
So I'm just
There's a lot of lotion lobby
gonna
love.
sell out. I'm gonna just sell out real quick and throw back up this merch screen. So, once again, merch, and we'll have some other stuff coming up soon. So, there you go.
Oh, there's
And-
also lotion lobby socks as well, which
Yes,
I find quite
the
interesting.
lotion lobby socks. I had to make it happen. I had to make it happen because they look so clean. They look so
I don't like
clean. Why don't you like that?
Anything
What's wrong with
feet really
lotion
makes me
lobby
nervous.
socks?
I
Oh,
just
is that
like
why you told me
basic
not to?
Black socks.
No, they're white.
Yes.
They're white.
They're white. To hide the
They always
lotion.
smell like bleach.
They always smell like bleach. Jesus Christ. So see, look, Downer, in order for us to get to the point where we have the lotion lobby lotion, we gotta
thinking about that.
we gotta step it up
Not gonna
just a
lie.
little bit. We're not there yet.
Yeah,
we
we're not
need-
there.
Yeah, we're not there.
What's it gonna smell like? Scent
Whoa.
is the strongest thing tied to memory. So I work with people in branding, right? So we just created a whole nostalgic experience in a box. So if Lotion Lobby Lotion was in there as an experience, what is that like for your intended user? Is it thick? Is it viscous? Is it mighty viscous? Is it
Mighty
is it
viscous.
loosey
I love
loosey? Does it feel kind of squirty?
I feel like it should have.
I feel like it should have lavender in it.
Yeah, it's
Lavender.
it's like a
Chamomile?
lavender.
The
Yeah.
hopes and dreams of orphans.
Oh no!
It smells like a burning village and warmonger smiling.
Smell like the conquering of our enemies.
Smells like cooked horsetail.
Wow. And
Wow. Okay.
Cooked horse tail.
Cooked
It's-
horse, where did that come from?
It smells like that jerk ox. They got a Jamaican joint. It's like jerk. Got that jerk.
Got that jerk chicken.
And with that, I think we've finished up for the day. Is there anything else that you wanted to go over, Jamie, or part-time? Any last words for the peoples?
No, I'm here to be poked and prodded by you all. So let me know. I'm just me. I'm just Dad Gamer, bro.
All right. Well,
I think we'll definitely be in contact with you once we get down this formula for this lotion lobby lotion.
Lurk for lurk. That's how you're.
Yeah, lurk for lurk.
Lurk
You gotta
for
tag all your
lurk.
homies. You gotta engagement pod on Instagram. Don't forget to like and follow the homies below and tag them people.
See, there was an alternate design for the lotion lobby that I wanted to use, but Jamie didn't.
Look, no. Don't blame me for this. You know,
I will because you literally said the other.
No.
Look,
it does not work for branding on shirts. Okay, it works for a promotional piece of content, but that particular design would not work for a T-shirt.
I think y'all should pressure him on Twitter to show y'all the other design, because I say it works and he says it doesn't. And see, that's the thing. It is funny without context, which was his actual gripe. He was like, it adds too much context to the lotion lobby. And I was like, okay, I see your point, but I still like the design because I think it offers up other things. Like, I think we should have 3 designs for the lotion lobby.
You want 3 different lotion lobbies,
and each one is a different.
I can't believe how this has become.
No.
The lotion lobby has evolved so much.
Each image is different, and therefore it still stays ambiguous because you still can't actually tie it to anything.
I would look. Tie the phrase lotion lobby to like a swear jar, and every time somebody says it, or it says it in chat, then you get incrementally closer to revealing this fucking logo or some shit, and you can donate to a charity with it too. Just make it like a buzzword swear jar situation, like a Pee Wee Herman word of the day.
See, this is why y'all need to listen to this man. Don't forget, hit him up on the socials and on Twitch at Fighting Wordsmith or Fight Wordsmith on Twitter, and pick this man's brain because he got a lot of ideas for y'all if you want to step up your branding.
Yeah, that was a tactic. I try to work with people on strategy. I charge tactics.
Hey, well then y'all better come and hit him up with coin in purse. Okay, that's it. No, I'm just.
But yeah, you could do that because that would facilitate engagement and interaction.
Yeah,
because of buzzword lotion lobby has been said 19 times now already, and you can just say, if this was a word cloud, if we exported this in text format, that'd be said a lot. So you just make it like a swear jar, and you can tie it to a goal. Like, oh, we're doing a cooking stream once we say lotion lobby 200 times.
Coin in purse and lotion in hand. Wonder Waffle, yes.
Hand me a quarter with like jergens on.
Oh my God, this is derailing quite fast. So we're gonna go ahead and end it. Wait, do you accept Lotion Lobby T-shirts as payment? Nice.
You just cut yourself off from end. We're gonna end it. Wait.
Yeah, because I want to make sure that I'm not cutting off while someone's trying to speak to us, because that would just be rude.
I'm here for you and your crew. You guys let me know how I can help you all. So questions or whatever, just
indeed.
Roast.
Okay, what?
Waffles.
Hey, waffles, spicy waffles. Did you see what he did?
So I had to. All right. So Mighty was a mod in my channel. When I first started, and he was always going on about nipples and rubbing his nipples and
nipple oils.
He didn't understand that wasn't my thing. So when I would delete these commands that he would put in there, he was like, "Hey man, why you delete my shit?" And I'm like, "Cause I don't talk about nipples, bitch. You like, this is your chat, yes, but this is my brand. So no, I don't want that shit."
Oh Jesus! Now Ben wave.
I was
Wordsmith
just
wants
pointing.
nipple tassels now. Jesus.
See, and I'm just
Look
I
what you've
pointed it.
done.
I did not say nipples
Listen,
once.
No, not
That's
today.
why I was pointing
Not
it
to-
out
not
because
to-
someone
not
else
today.
said it.
Not
No.
today, but evidently you have
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
enough for it to be an inside joke. So that's
Yeah,
just your
exactly.
You did
Vicious gamer bathwater. Oh, I'm definitely not at that point. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you don't want the Terry Folds on this one.
This. That was more like a 40-year-old tank of water that got left outside in the rain.
40-year-old take a
There mosquitoes in this bathwater? Damn. Mighty
Oh, Jesus. Mighty vicious. Oh. All right, guys.
my
Like I
God.
said, this
Right,
is
we've gotta
this is
go.
this is going off
It's
the
getting too
rails.
much. I'm afraid what they're gonna say next.
But yeah, we'll be back next Friday, 3 p.m. EST, 8 p.m. GMT.
GMT.
Yeah, there we go. GMT. And for those across the pond. And yeah. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope you learned something today. And remember, go out and check out Fight Wordsmith. Joechuck is there for you. Go talk to him. Go talk to him. We can't promise he'll talk back, but
Thank you for having me.
indeed, it was so much fun. So
It was good.
yep, we are gone for the day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna send you over to Keld. So
Go. Nice.
yeah, so we gone.
Bye.